Hello friends, good evening. Now we are going to see last point from the chapter citizenship, NRI, PIO, OCI. What is the full form of these three terms? We are going to see it and in detail. Okay. So NRI means non-resident Indian, PIO means person of Indian origin, OCI means overseas citizen of India. Fine. First, we are going to see NRI. NRI, non-resident Indian, is a residential status given to a citizen of India with an Indian passport who resides in a foreign country for the purpose of work or business or education. So our government or our central government give a residential status to its citizen of India who are already citizen of India. Okay, that person is already a citizen of India having an Indian passport, but who resides in a foreign country or outside India for the purpose of work, business or education. A person residing outside India since 6 months is a non-resident India. Now, what is the eligibility criteria for NRI? The person should be an Indian citizen. Okay, as I told you that person having Indian citizenship with a valid Indian passport. He should have a valid Indian passport and should reside outside of India for at least 183 days or 6 months or more in a financial year. Financial year is from 1st April to 31st March in India. Okay. Then what are the benefits of being NRI? Being an NRI, that is a non-resident Indian, is only a residential status. It's only a residential status given by central government to its citizen, classified by the Income Tax Department of India. Okay, and who classified it? It's classified by the Income Tax Department of India. So what are the benefits? First, banks offer special overseas accounts like RFC, FCNR, NRE, NRO accounts to NRI, that is non-resident Indian. Then the education system in India allows special reservation quota for NRIs, okay, or their children's. NRI can vote for elections but not physically present here at the polling booth. Okay. Then income earned abroad, means income earned by NRI in foreign country will not be taxed by the Income Tax Department of India. Next, limitations of being an NRI. Limitations of being an non-resident Indian. What are the limitations? NRI cannot purchase agricultural land in India. Second, they can be taxed for the income earned in India. Okay, first we have seen benefit that income earned by NRI in a foreign country where he resides will not be taxed by the Income Tax Department of India, but his income earned in India can be taxed. Okay. Now we are going to see what is PIO and OCI. First, PIO, a person of Indian origin, and the term Indian origin means the by legacy or whose ancestors are or were born in India, their parents, grandparents and great grandparents. Okay, they should born in India, and that person called person of Indian origin. But now person of Indian origin card holder or that scheme and overseas citizen of India card, these two schemes merged into a single scheme called Overseas Citizenship of India scheme. As per the Gazette of India published on 9th January 2015, now all means from 2000 in 2015 these two schemes PIO and OCI merged into a single scheme called OCI, Overseas Citizen of India. Okay, as per the Gazette of India published on 9th January 2015, all existing PIO cards are deemed or considered to be OCI cards. Okay, so it is mentioned, or government or central government published Gazette of India on 9th January 2015, which declares that all existing PIO cards are considered to be now onwards OCI cards. Okay, person of Indian origin is an identification status given to person or whose any of the ancestors was a permanent Indian resident or citizen or subject and who is currently holding valid citizenship and passport of another country or foreign country. Okay, so remember that in 2015 PIO was abolished. Okay, and PIO scheme was merged into a single scheme called Overseas Citizenship of India. So now OCI means what? OCI means Overseas Citizen of India is an immigration status. See, we have seen that in case of NRI, central government give NRI residential status. In PIO case, identification status, and here immigration status given by central government to a foreign citizen of Indian origin as an alternative. Very important word, alternative for dual citizenship. It is an alternative. Okay, so OCI card is an alternative for dual citizenship which is not allowed by the Indian Constitution. Okay, so we have single citizenship, we don't have dual citizenship like USA. Okay, or I think Canada have a dual citizenship. So our constitution doesn't allow person dual citizenship. So OCI is considered as an alternative for a dual citizenship, and it is an immigration status given to a foreign citizen of Indian origin by our central government. Okay, yes, Canada have a dual citizenship. Okay, if you acquire citizenship of another country and already you are citizen of India, then your citizenship of India will be abolished by Parliament of India, or Parliament of India will take it away. Remember, if you acquire without conveying, without informing government of India that you are going to acquire or you already have a citizenship of another country, but at the same time already you are citizen of India, then your citizenship of India will be abolished by Parliament of India, or Parliament of India will take it away. Okay. For example, last year, maybe you heard about the case writer Atish. I forgot his surname, but his mother is Tauleen Singh, who is a famous journalist in India, and his father is from Pakistan actually, but he said that he didn't know that who is his father. Okay. So when it is our government said that he has done fraud with Indian law or with Indian constitution, so his citizenship taken away by our parliament. Okay. There is also political reason behind this issue actually, but that is none of our business. We are going to see it exam point of view. Okay. We are not going into that issue. Okay. Then person of yes, overseas citizenship of India. Okay. So now we are going to see in detail, okay, who are exactly person of overseas citizenship to whom Indian government gives overseas citizenship of India. Okay. A person who is citizen of India or eligible to become a citizen of India on or after the commencement of the constitution, that is on 26 January 1950, or who belong to a territory that became part of India after 15th August 1947, or who is a child, either minor or major, or grandchild or great grandchild of such a citizen. Okay. Second, a person who or whose parents, grandparents, great grandparents were born in India and were are citizen, and were or are a citizen or eligible to become a citizen of India at any time or after commencement of the Constitution of India, that is on 26 January 1950, or belong to territories that became part of India after 15th August 1947, is eligible for holding an OCI card. Okay. Then third, spouse of OCI card holder is eligible to apply for OCI. Okay. So spouse of OCI card holder is eligible for OCI, eligible to apply for OCI card. Okay. Or overseas citizenship of Indian card, only after, there is a condition, only after completion of 2 years of registered and subsisted marriage, provided that, okay, again, provided that the person had not been a citizen of Pakistan, Bangladesh, or such a country listed by the central government. Okay. So spouse of or overseas citizenship, a citizen of India card holder is eligible. That person can apply for the OCI card, but there is a condition that only after completion of 2 years of registered and subsisted marriage, again provided that the person had not been a citizen of Pakistan, or means spouse, okay, who wish to acquire the citizenship who wish to acquire overseas citizenship of India, should not be a citizen of Pakistan, Bangladesh, or such country listed by the central government. Just I told you that the example of a writer or journalist, Atish, I think his surname is Atish. Okay, leave it. You actually Google it. Okay, so what our government gave the reason for the abolished his when our central government abolished his overseas citizenship card, our government gave the reason that his father is a Pakistani, okay, he's a citizen, his father is a citizen of Pakistan, so we are, or we have all rights to taking his OCI card away, or take away his OCI citizenship, okay. However, a person is not entitled to apply for any of these cards if the person or their ancestors at any time was a citizen of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other countries as specified by the rules laid by the government of India. Okay, so the above condition is related to spouse of OCI card holder. And here the fourth condition is a person is not entitled to apply for any of these cards, means not NRI, OCI, PIO now abolished, actually not abolished, PIO card holders merged, or that scheme merged into OCI, okay, in 2015. So a person is not entitled to apply for any of these cards if the person or their ancestors at any time was a citizen of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other foreign country as listed or specified by the rules laid by the government of India. Fine. Now validity and renewal of OCI card. The OCI card acts as a visa to enter India for any purpose multiple times, okay. The OCI card means this card acts as a visa actually to enter India, or to come into India for any purpose for multiple times with lifelong validity, and the validity of card is lifelong, with a valid foreign passport. But that person should have a valid foreign passport. It needs to be renewed after expiry of the foreign passport of the OCI card holder. Means whenever his passport, he has to renew his passport after the expiry of his foreign passport. That time he has to renew his OCI card, okay. It needs to be renewed after the expiry of the foreign passport of the OCI card holder. Then benefits of being an OCI card holder. First, multiple entries to visit India, okay. As I told you, they can come India multiple times, okay. For lifelong, their card is valid for lifelong for multiple purposes. Multiple times they can come into India for multiple purposes and for lifelong. Then second benefit, that person need not register with FRRO Okay, so OCI card holder need not register with FRRO. FRRO means Foreigners Regional Register Officers. Foreigners Regional Register Officers. So that person uh, that person doesn't need to register with FRRO or local police authorities even after a continuous stay of 180 days. Okay. Then third benefit, OCI card holder can work or study in India without any special permission, just like any other Indian nationals or just like any other Indian citizen. Okay, then fourth benefit of OCI card holder, special countries for fast immigration clearance. Special counters for fast immigration clearance at all international airports. So they have facility of special counters for fast immigration clearance, okay, at all international airports. Then fifth, financial or economic or educational benefits are on par with NRIs, means more than NRIs. Then sixth benefit, parity with residential Indians in charges for domestic airfares and national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, museums and historical sites, etc. And all countries do it. For example, when we as a citizen of India go to visit any historical place, for example Taj Mahal or any wildlife sanctuary or national park, then being a citizen of India, they charge us or that authority charge us minimum fees or minimum charges to visit that place, but they charge differently or more rupees for visit of that particular place. Okay, even they charge more domestic airfares for a foreign citizen, but in case of OCI card holder, they charges same as Indian resident or Indian citizen. Okay, and India is not exceptional. All countries do the same thing. Okay, now disadvantage of being an OCI card holder. OCI card holder cannot purchase agricultural land in India. They may not hold government job but can work for private companies. Okay, they cannot vote, and they need special permission to do research work in India from the Indian Mission or foreign regional foreign regional register officers. Okay, PIO versus OCI. Now we are going to see differences between PIO versus OCI. Actually, we should know it as already this two schemes merged into single scheme, but let's see what were the difference between PIO and OCI. Okay, so first difference, PIO card allows visa free travel from and to India to the person holding a valid card. Okay, so person of Indian origin, a card holder, allows visa free. They didn't need visa to travel from and to India. Okay, and a person of Indian origin card holder is considered valid only if you hold a valid passport. Okay, you should have a valid passport. On the contrary, an OCI card holder allows a lifetime visa-free traveling to and from India. Okay. So here also the OCI card holder allows visa-free entry actually from and to India and for lifetime, multiple purposes and multiple times. Okay. Extension of stay. The extension of stay, PIO, person of Indian origin card holder allows only 180 days of continuous stay in India. The person of Indian origin card holder has to inform the FRRO, okay, Foreign Regional Register Officers or legal police authority if the stay needs to be extended beyond 180 days. But in case of OCI card holder can stay in India for any length of time without any concern of intimation to the local police or FRRO. Fine. Then third difference is eligibility criteria. The foreign spouse of the card holder is eligible to apply for okay. The foreign spouse of the card holder is eligible to apply for PIO. However, for OCI card holder, it mandates the person to be eligible in their own capacity, that is, a foreign national who is not eligible to apply for an OCI card will not get an OCI card even if married to a person who is a holder of the valid OCI card. However, their children are eligible to hold an OCI card. So, in case of PIO, person of Indian origin, he's a foreign spouse, husband or wife of the card holder. Is of the person of Indian origin card holder spouse, husband or wife is eligible to apply for this card. Okay. However, in case of OCI card, it mandates, means it compulsory it's compulsion that mandatory the person to be eligible in their own capacity. Okay. What is mean that? That is a person, a foreign national who is not eligible to apply for an OCI card, they will not get an OCI card even if he married to a person who is a card holder of the valid OCI card. Okay. But their children are eligible to hold an OCI card. Now, NRI versus OCI, means NRI and differences between NRI and OCI. NRI is a residential status described by the Income Tax Department of India, and OCI is an, as we already seen that OCI is an immigration status or special visa given for foreign nationals of Indian origin by the Government of India to visit or live in India indefinitely. Okay. Then difference between NRI versus in NRI and PIO. Okay. What are the difference between NRI, non-resident Indian, and person of Indian origin? NRI is a residential status. Okay. We have seen it already. NRI is a residential status described by the Income Tax Department of India, and PIO card was a form of identification issued by its identification status. PIO card holder gave identification status by Central Government of India or Indian government to an Indian origin individual who hold a passport in a country other than Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other countries listed or decided by the government of India. Okay, so here our chapter is over. So friend, hope you got it, whatever I explain you about OCI, NRI and PIO. Definitely it will be helpful in your exam. So thank you very much, and all the best for your exam. We'll see you in next lecture. Thank you. Good night.